Guys, the best moment ever coming to you is my dogs have been released. Guys, imagine this that the stuff that are always tying my dogs here to make sure that they're just... Today it has come with this kind of the stuff here. It's a chain. I don't know why a person could just... I have never tied my dogs here. Why is this kind of the stuff coming? And it was being... Look at this kind. And it was being tied and making sure that it cut with its own, talk about the teeth to make sure that everything is fantastic. So by today, I'm just talking about, whoa, the Lord is good and everyone has been fighting for this. I want to be calling the dogs here so they can just arrive. Look at for this kind of the man. They're here, guys. Kuja. Come here, come here, come here. Wow. One, number two. Where are the others? Kuja. Kuja, kuja, kuja. Others, come. Kuja. Yeah, they are here. Woo! Come. Shh. Kuja. Yeah, they are now going for the hunt to make sure that everything is fantastic. For the person who think about you're gonna be getting everything from me, you are absolutely shameful. And today is today. Tomorrow gonna be another day. So this kind of the stuff I'm gonna be making sure that I'm keeping it. And when I'll get somebody who is owning this kind of a chain, who is taking my dogs and making sure that we're gonna be selling my dogs, because there's a high demand for the dogs right now, because there are too much monkeys and people want to talk about, because there are so many people are coming to talk about, Ginto, I need some dog. But whenever it's that time I talked about, no, I can never sell my dogs. And that is the real fact. And much of the people wanted Ginto to be bleached in terms of security. You are very stupid about that. And the person who ever took my dogs, it's just a warning for you. Because right now, the dogs are back to the system. And maybe it was lack of a little bit of food. Kuja. Kuja. I have one of them here. Hey, how are you? Hello. It's here, guys. And it's one of the dogs that they were being taken out of the spot here. Kuja. Shh. Hello. Kuja. I have to sit down so that I can just make sure that they are coming. And this is the fantastic moment. Kuja. How are you? Come here. Come here. Wow. Wagwan. Come on. Wagwan. The dog is back. And you can just remember this kind of the dogs here. We are having much of the cherishment here to make sure that everything is fantastic. Now they are back. And for the person who ever stole this kind of the dogs, it's just a warning to you. Making sure that you're going to be learning the lesson and they're going to be knowing where specifically they were. Because this kind of the chain, it shows that the dog was being a catch and it was being tied and to maybe a tree or something. So this is the dog that it chewed this kind of the small rope here, so they could just evacuate from that kind of the position. And much of the people are just, you know, that my security was breached and making sure that things were getting worse. Up to today, I can just talk about, I saw much of the people are in concern talking about, Ginto, there's somebody who was just taken. I took it very correctly and a very serious matter. And right now, all the dogs, there's one remaining up there. So I have very many dogs here. I have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7 up there, and number 8 they are still in the stomach. To make sure that everything is so fantastic, here we are, and this is the cherishing point that we always have to make sure that the dogs are making very fantastic move. And whenever we talk about going to be coming back to this kind of the position, you are so long, and you are wrong, guys. And I was just feeling so crazy because for me to have this kind of the dogs to reach this kind of the position I am, it has taken me so long, decades, for you to have this kind of the fun, and they can eat together. That is the best moment that I have. The dogs can eat together, they can cherish together, they can stay together, because it's not if it's not well maintained. The dogs, if they're not well maintained, you can never find you having this kind of the dogs here sitting together, cherishing together, male and female, having themselves rationing here. And some of the people are just coming and talking about, because and I will just know this kind of the person, because it should be a person who ever walked through my home here, and he ever walked here and is making sure that he can just lure the dogs and make, they can never come to any kind of the person that you can come once and talk about now, you can call the dog and come. The real effect is I have always maintained them here to make sure that they're always together. Look at even right now, it's cherishing here besides me here to make sure that everything is fantastic. Whenever you see, now I'm just doing this way here, it's now putting the tail and it's now laughing. The tail is always up to make sure that it's enjoying the moment. Look at this end of the moment here. Yeah, so they are enjoying the moment using my sand here to make sure that everything is fantastic. Look at this one, is the smallest, and it has been surviving. They have to survive. That's the best moment that we have. And this is the dog that it was having a little problem whenever somebody hit it. It's not the first time that I'm having this kind of the problems with my dogs here. There's a time this kind of the dog, it was being hit and somebody just fractured its leg. And you can just remember there's a time I brought much of the vet so they can just fix the leg and make sure that it's going on with its own fantastic moment. So they had left me with only female. And the only female that what are now the female going to do? But the effect is even the female are so fantastic. Even it's making sure that it's looking to the far point and the others are looking to the far point. So as the security is, I have trained them. Unless that they are just African shepherds here, but I have also made sure that everything, they're called coco dogs here, and they're so fantastic. Vinodo. You can call them Vinodo. And they're always fantastic and make sure that... but to the real effect of the time, thank you much for everyone who has been in concern. Talking about talking to this person who ever took this kind of the dogs here and there. And the real effect is always one. I cried and I cried and I cried talking about they have already been killed. Because how can somebody just take your dog and just go and tie it using this kind of the chains here? And this kind of the chain, it's my 2 decades maybe. I'm checking this kind of the chain because I ever saw this kind of the chains. And a person who is always chaining a dog. Are you really normal if you are not in town? Because for the town dogs, you can talk about you can chain them or build talk about a kennel for them. But a fact of a person in the village here taking this kind of a chain and tying your own dogs, not even his dogs, or him dogs, or the dogs that he ever bought. He just came and stole the dogs. And I don't know how they're just doing it. And I think it's just luring them using the herbs. Much of the people can just go about, oh, those kind of the dogs are so big, they're so good, and they're always together, and talk about let me lure them. You understand? And even right now here, as we just making sure that we're leisuring here, they're always focused, making sure that they can look at there's no dog that is looking at me. Look and just check here. There's no dog that's looking at me, making sure that the security is not breached. That's the fact, and they understand it. But when a person is coming to steal my dogs and talk about, oh, this kind of the dogs are so fantastic, oh, this kind of the dogs, A, B, C, D, guys, I cried. I talked about, Lord, if as a person who has just taken my dogs here, he can just have to, guys, and you know that I reported this kind of the scene, and talk about this kind of the police. They were talking about how can a person report that a dog, you know, it's not usual, and that's the fact that's bringing us to be in a very behind way. That even whenever you go to talk about my dogs have been stolen, the police are just arriving in the station talking about how can your dogs be stolen and how can a person steal a dog. We have been talking about people stealing cows, stealing goats here, stealing properties here, a person stealing a dog. It was a unique case that I was ever presenting to the court and presenting to the police officers. And they were talking about, oh, you have never seen such kind of a scenario, because whenever I ever come to this kind of the area, I will ever get much of the things here. Because it's so stupidical. A person can just talk about he wants to take even your dog. Even if you are a good hand in hand, talk about you can just relate with them. Maybe they know you because you have ever been here. Maybe, and I suspect much of talk about the person who was coming here, talking about, oh, you know, you should give me much of the content, talking about very early in the morning and talking about, hey, sometimes stomach is booming and this. I suspect this kind of the people, because to the real fact about this kind of the chain, the person is always tying some of the dogs at the town. We understand them. We know them. And even a person can just tell you even right now, who is always walking with the dogs at the street and who is having this kind of the chains. Is only one person who is a YouTuber, very stupidical and very nonsensical. They're thinking about everything should be just taken in the way you want. That, oh, because my dogs here are this way, and me, I relate with my security that I see. Better as a devil that I have ever seen, than you are talking about Jesus, I've never seen. The real fact is that some of not that it's always usual that way, but the fact is somebody can talk about, oh, because of the dogs here, there are cocoa dogs here, you can just have no, I've ever been growing these ones here. Because if I can give you a small history about myself here, when I ever grew up, I was ever liking the dogs, and talk about my parents who are leaving me with the dogs at home and making sure that they are going to the shamba, prepare the shamba. While they're gonna be coming back, they have left me with the tea, and I could just take the tea, and we were sharing the same cup. I never knew it. We were sharing the same cup. So one day my father came, and he found that the dog is drinking from the same cup, and I'm drinking from the same cup. My father was about, hey, you are becoming something else, and he was ever talking about next time don't do that one. So I never knew that it was bad, and I don't think it's a bad thing for somebody to share something with a dog, because the only thing is they're not brushing teeth, and they will never brush because you are a human being to take care of them. So right now, a person who is coming to talk about a dog is this, a dog is that way, I can just talk about you are not even in your senses, because I like the pets, not like the king who is always taking the pets onto the granted and just putting them there for the fact of putting them there and being people to spot them that they are just there. The fact is I'm always preparing and making sure that everything is fantastic. For the person who wants to steal again, I'm just giving you a warning that next time now it will be a court case that you are stealing my dogs, man. How can you steal my dogs here? And they're now relaxing, making sure they are every style. You can just check the styles here. The styles are styling here. Hey, this is the young one here. And guys, the real fact is I'm always breeding the dogs on my own. And right now, I have 3 females that are pregnant already. Somebody can talk about, oh, Ginto, how did you know that they're pregnant? I saw how they talk about the fiancing and such kind of the cucumberization was taking place. I understand it. Because this black one is pregnant. This one here I'm sleeping on is pregnant. The other one, which is looking like a mole there, is pregnant. Exactly. So this one here is still a small one that's now growing. And it's this is the daughter to the black one. So whenever we're going to be giving, talk about giving birth, now following this kind of the dog. So they are so big enough to make sure that everything's so fantastic. Exactly. So, and I'm always washing them. And they know Gintu, I can touch them the way I feel, and they can come to Gintu, and right now they will never go anywhere. Even if I stand, let me show you, whenever I stand, they will stand. Let me show you guys. You can see. They will follow me. They will follow me. They have to follow me. They are following me. Kuja. Exactly. They will come. So as everything is in concern, they are coming to make sure that they are protecting Gintu A to Z. They understand the role of them, making sure that they will never look where I'm looking at. They have to look opposite. That's the best method of making sure that the security is not bleaching. Right now, that one is looking to the far end. This one here is looking here. And me, I'm looking this way. The dog is making sure that everything is looking on its own way, to make sure that everything is fantastic. And that is the best method that I can talk about. We are making things to have a change. And the person who is coming to bleach with us and talk about, oh, this kind of the things have to happen this way, oh, this and then and this, that's the stupidity of the highest order. And I will just say it and repeat it. You a person who ever stole my of the dogs here, you are a stupid person ever possible. Yeah, let me take the chain and I'll store it, because I'm now collecting much of the things here. Last time I was being attacked with the condad, and the Bible is present. Today, somebody took my dogs here. The chain is here. Make sure that I'm gonna be getting whose chain is this one here. So the dogs are here. Fantastic method here to make sure that everything is getting to the far end. Let me get to the G Castle here to check on what's really happening. Make sure that I'm just updating what is meant and how the things are moving to the G Castle here. So keep it tuned. Let's go and check the G Castle. Right now, the white brim spot there, it's now working very properly. Let me check on inside here what's happening. Today is on Saturday. There's no much of the work that was continuing here. Exactly. We have Fundi Juku here. Hello.
Yes.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
Everything is good?
Everything.
I see the work is working.
The work is ongoing.
And everything is fantastic.
Everything is fantastic.
Exactly. I see even the food is besides there. You are thinking about no fooding here. Is the electricity having a problem?
Food is tele.
Food is more. Yeah, there's no problem about food.
Yeah.
So today I got the person who stole my dogs, man. And this is the chain that was chaining them and making sure that even it cut. This is the rope that was chaining them and tying it maybe somewhere. So somebody had stole my dogs, man. You don't have any information.
One of them came back.
Yeah, one of them and one came and they came all. I don't know if he had taken one which was the leader and tied it. Now the others, whenever I called them, the others then appeared. But it came while it was so hungry. And I never wanted to shoot a video whenever it came because somebody can talk about, oh, Gint, you can be arrested with that one. Because it was like the ribs are open. So I had to make sure that everything is fantastic because I could have to feed them. And that's the moment. And this is how the people are moving outside here, man.
What?
Yeah.
Doing
people are stealing dogs, man. That's the fact.
Can you steal big dogs like this?
We have hubs. Somebody can put a hub on a meat and it can come and be lowered, then it faint. And you can tie it and take it and leave. You can never know. And that's what is now trending. And for the real fact is they wanted to bleach my security because last time they talked about, oh, maybe there was some, and I have abolished much of the people who are just always coming here to maneuver around because they were the ones who are kicking the information to the conduct and also the talk about the goons so they can just come and attack me. So whenever I just talked about this kind of the security gonna be, this kind of the boys have to be monitored whenever they are doing, they talked about now whatever we want to do, let's breach the security. They had to take my dog here, man. But how is the work continuing, man? Everything is good?
The work is ongoing.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying.
You're trying the best.
So far,
yeah.
I've finished these two.
2 windows are already finished.
And
you want to have the door? Oh.
The emergency door.
Oh, the emergency door. Yeah. Wow. So guys, this is how they're going to be looking like. And I think... Oh, not yet here. A little bit. Yeah. Oh, the other one, eh? How heavy is it, man?
It is very heavy.
It's very heavy. Yeah, you can just check it, guys, how it's looking like. And yeah.
This one here is
yeah, this one is ready already.
Yeah.
These are for the third window. That one here. This one here. For the third window.
Yeah.
The third window that's there. Exactly. So guys, you can just see how it's just having. This is the pattern that it's going to be drawn here. And it's sealed completely to make sure that everything is so fantastic as there's no much of talking about, oh, we're going to be having maybe somebody can just penetrate a head here. No, which kind of a head I'm talking about, you understand? Not the ordinary head that we always talk about here. Exactly. So nobody can just talk about you're going to be penetrating and putting your head to another side. So this is just for the grill. And we're going to be having now the main window, which is the aluminium, the sliding aluminium windows. Yeah. They're going to be coming so they can just be fixed out whenever we have completed everything. Talk about even the talk about the paintings are already come concern about it, and everything going to be very fantastic. So the work is so fun. You can just rate our welding here called Fundi Duke, and you can just support Fundi Duke to make sure that he's making it. And when I think we're going to be going to even America, I can just make him a lot of money because this is a fantastic moment because there's no much of the people who are venturing to this kind of the arts. And the real fact is the work is ongoing good and the steels are stealing. Very, very, very fantastic. They are talking about Doshi steel. These are Doshi?
These are jumbo, but
these are jumbo.
They are strong.
They are strong.
And they are straight.
And Doshi?
Doshi, they are a bit expensive.
Oh, a bit expensive.
Yeah. Because for them, they have their shops. So they have retail shops, they have wholesale, and they have their factory. So they sell expensive because they know their things are quality. And they have the retail shops. They can sell at their retail shops.
Exactly. I understand.
That's why they are so
even
expensive.
This kind of the steels are so parallel, and you can just check on how the window now is looking like. So the pattern is at the middle here, and making sure that everything is so fantastic. So it's one of the unique patterns here, but there are rare of them. But it is a part of the pattern that we have just selected to make sure that it's a grill that will be so conk about to sustain the sustainability of the security pattern. Yeah. So you can just give yourself a shout out, man, as I just move forward.
Yeah, I'm Fundi Duke.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
which is
Fundy. Duke is Duke. Go check me out. I'm a content creator.
Exactly.
Yeah, I came here. It was on Thursday.
On a Thursday?
Yeah. You gave me a shout out.
Exactly.
And I asked for subscribers.
Exactly. Right now, how many are there?
My channel is having like It's more than 600 right now, and I came while it was 530 something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I appreciate the love. Love is for free, guys.
Exactly.
Show love, continue showing love.
Let's make it happen.
I want, after finishing this work, and at my YouTube channel, I've
even monetizing,
even monetization.
Yeah, let's move him to the monetization, guys. And it's gonna be very fantastic. And it's called Fundi Duke. And today I'm gonna be posting again, and I'm gonna be posting his own video, so you can just check it and subscribe, like, share, so as we can just share the love. I'm not like the Kenge that will never talk about shout out, exchange of shout out and the welding. Gintu is not that way. The fact is everybody gonna be doing his own work, and this kind of the support. I always being supported. I was supported for me to reach this kind of the space I am. And for him, even him has to be supported, so he can just make it happen. Much of the people never knew him because during the party there are so many people. Even you watching his on the video, sometimes it could be a problem.
At the party, I was asked what did I brought.
Yeah, exactly.
For the shout out. For a special shout out.
Exactly. That's what I'm always telling much of the people that much of the people who went there. They had something to lure for them to have a shout out. It was not just something that, even me I had to express myself and talk about the fish has to go there so they can just be given a shout out.
I tried to say that, boss, I've tried to make some things here, so many things here for free. So just give me a shout out.
You talk about the Duke. Your day will come. Your day will come. Your day now is to be thrown out. That's the days that you was ever talking about. So guys, we're gonna be coming back with much of the video, and keep it tuned. We're gonna be continuing the other video that we left behind and talking about. We're gonna be coming to recover and be told how it went. Now, whenever he was being told that to get out of the villa, where has he been and how is he doing much of the things outside there, so as we can just acclimatize himself to be who he is. So keep it tuned, keep it locked. Much of the video gonna be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. Let me go and check our fruit garden. We have a very big fruit garden. Do you know that one? Very big fruit garden. Very big one. It's like 2 hectares of land.
Yeah, or
you know, my father was the last born, like me. So he was given a very big land from up there to down there. So we're gonna be having the fruit garden down here. So we're gonna be checking on it and making sure that you know, we have monkeys. We have people monkeys. And we have the real monkeys.
The real monkeys.
Yeah. So we're having much of the people breaching because the security is not security. That's why I have many dogs. Sometimes I talk about they go there like safari rally. You understand? But right now, whenever they are loitering here, you can never know. But there's somebody who is always loitering. We have somebody who is taking care of it. Let me go and check on what's right happening. Much of the people have never seen it. Let me get there and keep it tuned, keep it locked. Watch the video until the end. Support Fundi Duke again. Support. And also is Fundy, Fundi Duke, Duke, which is the Duke, exactly. And also we have Sigano. Go check, it's _Sigano, SIGAN, and you can just subscribe and like and share. Always Mayani is always available, but it's taking much of the position at his own garden here to make sure that everything is coming to live. So keep it tuned. Let's go on with our works here, and we are moving very fast. Today's on a Saturday. There's not much of the work of the top mason here. So we're going to be coming back to the video of Fundi Duke, so they can just continue much of the vibe and know what's really happening and tangling in. And that is the best moment. The tiles are already democratized. Guys, thank you very much. For the person who always is supporting Talk About Ogintu, we have already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one was the remaining. We have 10 already, much of the tiles here. Tomorrow is on Saturday. We're going to be coming back to make sure that he is continuing with the stuff there. We have how many cement? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 cements already remaining here. So as far as you are supporting into, let's make it happen. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. More support, more vibe. But this kind of the person who took my dogs here, stupid again. Hello beautiful folks, wherever you are, welcome back. Back to the G Castle and the real G, real Tingle. Making sure that we're going to be having much of the things coming to you live, which is one-on-one, getting and trespassing here, because I've been told that today I have to do my work in terms of making sure that the monkeys are being occupied here, because they have already started making sure that things are getting very awkward. So I have to make sure that I'm passing through this kind of the spaces here to make sure that I'm reaching to the brim. Exactly. Wherever you're coming from, thank you very much. Today the condition is very favorable. There's not much of a hesitation. Thank you about that one. As we move and make sure that everything is coming to you. Thank you very much for everyone who has been tuned. Well appreciative. And subscribing, liking and sharing, and we have to get forward. That is the main effort. As today we're going to be getting some of the chit chat and a walk a little bit here. It's like a nature walk to have and share much of the things how they're just happening. And we have much of the krakatoos that are just coming out, and we're going to talk about we're going to be fixing it. There's no problem about that. As we mentioned and get to know, because already we have just got who is the thief and who has stolen Gintu's dogs, because as far as everything is in concern, I've got that one of the people who are just always having some envious things, and I'm just sympathizing with such kind of a person. How can a person come and take somebody's dogs? Imagine. Somebody's coming and talking about come on and give which kind of an you know, guys, some people outside there, they're witches outside there, and I'm telling you that as fact. People are witches outside there, and as far as everything is in concern, I already reported this kind of the case, so as the police can just do some of 2-3 shenanigans about it, so as they can just fix this kind of the error. And as far as everything is in concern, the police are about to give the feedback, because already I'm tangling to make sure that my dogs are coming back. What I'm just hearing, the good thing is they're still available and they're still alive. Somebody just took a chain and got them, because much of the people were just working here also. They ever came to have the friendship with the dogs. You can understand the pets, which are the African shepherds here. You can just understand them. So the fact is, whenever this kind of the dogs, whenever they were associative and making sure that whenever you come, they just cherish with you and talk about, oh, this is the same person. You know, understand, I've been changing. People are just bring some of the food to the dogs. That's the effect. So whenever somebody comes, thinks about, oh, whenever you come with a motorbike at home here, let me not bleach much of the information. That was the fact. And this kind of the people, they understood them. And that's why whenever they arrived, they had this kind of the protocol of just getting them out. That was the affiliated men. But the real fact is, I'm just getting to know how the things are just continuing here, because this is the maze for Sigano also. And my father told me that, oh, Gintu, whenever you're going to be having some video today, just go to the downer section there and check on how the monkeys are going to be coming to eat much of the maize. And they're coming, because this kind of the maize, you can just check it here. It's having different sizes here, because we have the small sizes here and we have the bigger size, which is this one here. So as far as everything is in concern, the monkeys can just come and talk about cut this kind of the stem here, and whenever it cut the stem, it can just chew this kind of the stem, because it's sugary in manner. So that's why I'm always having some of the cherishment here. And also I'm just I told me that I have to visit it's called the fruit garden here, so I can just check what is really happening to the fruit garden, because much of the things are not having it properly. But everything is being handled. I checked on much of the birds are coming out here, and I wanted to have a good pathway so I can just go to the other side, but I can just check here. This is where much of the people are passing through. They're just stepping here, stepping to the wire and coming inside here. So let me because set a thief to catch a thief, I want to know how they're just trespassing here and coming to the entrance of the sham. Yeah, wow, this is a very easy very easy way of just arriving here. So to the real fact is, already today I've just got much of the people are just behind much of the sarcasm that are always happening here. And the real fact of the problems is, I've seen quite a senior talking about, there's one of the person coming from Nyabuanse here. It's just a crooked and a sabotaging guy, and I can just talk about is just a hashish and like a lunatic psychopath guy who cannot even favor to have anything to do with us here. So they're just, people are just jealous and talked about, yeah, go and do this kind of thing. Now we have just known, because they cannot do anything as far as they've been told with their stupid boss that, oh, can you just do this kind of the thing to this kind of the person? And that's the effect, because right now, because you understand this kind of the weeks here, the past 2 weeks here, it has been so krakatoing. Gintu always running so far rally from this position to another position. That was the main squad of them, thinking about, oh, now from the strike have been sabotaged. Talk about the attacks have been sabotaged, so they go to the security pattern for the Gintu. That's the effect that they're going to be doing. And what I told them is I'm not like the children they think about the Gintu as a child. The effect is what they don't know is the people they're sending to me have worked in such kind of the departments. That's what I can just tell them here. So whatever they're just sending, I always sense before even they could sense, because I was so fine in terms of that. And even my father, whenever he came home and talked about I want to have my own employment, he was he was about to hit me, because he told me that how can you get out of the security pattern and you want to come outside here and do what now? So there's some of the fruits here already. So many fruits here, and we have to make sure that everything is so fantastic. So as much as the fruits are so fantastic here, everything is adding up here. Exactly. So I'm checking, because right now you can just find that much of the but the way I'm speaking here, it's going to be in a security way, because much of the people are coming here to interfere with this kind of the fruits here. That's the real fact. So as far as everything is in concern, I can just go straight to the point, back to the statement. As I saw Mr. Kohera Senior talking about, much of the people are just being driven with stupid minds, talking about they have to come and attack my own dogs here, and they have to return it, because that's the real fact. My dogs have to be returned. And when I will just talk about I'm going to get my dogs here, somebody will ever have a problem somewhere. That's the real fact, because they cannot take much of the things here and think about they're going to be going with them the way they think. These are the pawpaws here, and they're in a nursery bed still, so we're going to be planting them. That's the real fact. As everything is progressing very well, and we're checking much of the environment, how they're looking. We're having much of the passion fruits again. They're here. We have to make sure that we are planting much of the passion fruits here, and much of the things are still available here, to make sure that people are eating fruits. East, west, and south. This is the real fact about it. And yeah, the fruits are so many, and you can just check on them here. Wow, they're so big enough for making sure that we're going to be having very fantastic juices here, and also we have to sell them so as we can just earn a living here. They're not here for nothing. There are more than 200 fruits here, making sure that even we talk about the sugar canes here, there are so many sugar canes and bananas here, to make sure that everything is so fantastic. So much of the people, I can just tell you this as a fact, guys, much of the people talk about the YouTubers mostly. They're being talked about, I want you to go to Gintu's position and buy some fruits here, or buy some bananas here, or buy some things here. Look at we're having some of the this one is already ripen here, so I can just take it here, because when I leave it here, there's nobody who can just come and talk about contourate with them. So they're blackish and they're so fantastic, you can just remember them here. So we are having much of them here, and we are selling. That's the real fact about it. As far as everything is in concern, Mr. Kohera Senior, thank you much for your concern, because he talked about people have to have to get back my dogs, because that's the real fact. Because when I will just go in for it, and people will just suffer. As far as everything is concerned, we have people think about, it's just a simple thing. As simple the way they think about, I have to go and do this kind of the things here. I know much of the YouTubers here, how they are, how they behave, and they don't want to see much of the progress, people having much of the progress. Why am I saying so? It's because of illiteracy sometimes, and they think about, we have been taken to this kind of the position. This is the fact, the way I ever talked about, we are having much of the people who are selling me, because as more as I relate with much of the people, they're always coming to tell, this, but to the real fact of the time, you have to deal with it circumferentially. So much of the fruits here. So guys, as I'm just talking, I'm harvesting. You can just understand. Yeah, very big one here. Very big one. Yeah. So we're having much of the fruits here. Whenever I can just get home, we think I'm so pregnant, as you can just check. Much of it looks like my belly is bellying here, but that's the real fact. So I have much of the boys there, and talk about the children at home there, so they can just feed on it. As far as everything is concerned, I'm checking. I've never, it's just a while when I arrived here, so as I can just show much of the people how the fruits are. Much of the people, they understand this kind of the farm. It's not the first time I'm just broadcasting. Much of the people talk about, Gintu, you have never shown at this kind of the farm. It was ever coming, and I ever filmed it previously, but I talk about sometimes I have to get to this kind of the brand new chapter, so I can just show you what is really happening. We have more than 200 passion fruits here, and purple. so many of them. It's just it's called can just check much of the pawpaw plants here, and the bananas here. Oh, this one is very small. And why is it so? This immature banana here. This is a immature banana, but the real fact is even the human beings are that way. Sometimes you can just find an immature person lactating. You can just wonder, oh, you are so young, but you have children. You can just wonder, why is it happening that way? That's the nature. We understand it. And oh, my passions are here are getting down here. So the real fact is we have to check on the best moment for me to store them here. So because they are falling down, everything has to open to be operated very fantastic. Wow. I'm just checking here. The dogs here are rotating with me to make sure that everything is so fantastic. That's the best moment that we have here. So as I'm just leaving this kind of the session, guys, because I've come to check. Much of the monkeys are coming here to destroy everything. You understand? The monkeys are like even some of the people, because we have monkeys as representing people, and we have the monkeys. Yeah. Because when we talk about the monkeys representing the people, we have much of the people coming to steal. That's the fact, because even at our space they are there. We have to acknowledge them, because if you don't acknowledge that this kind of the thieves are going to be available, you have a very a big day, because you have to understand everything has nature, and that's how we have to move forward. For the real fact is today I'm just taking you around the area so you can just check on what is really happening, because it's a good nature, and it's like a nature walk. Wow. So everything is so fantastic. So guys, we are using kitchen refuse. You can just check here, kitchen refuse only. There's no much of commercial fertilizers here. You can just check kitchen refuses, and everything is growing so fantastic. That's the best moment that we have. And purpose here. And guys, I was talking about so much of the YouTubers here. They've been told that, oh, get to Ginto, and these are the yellow ones. They are so sour taste. You can just understand the sour taste. So they are having some sour taste. These are for the people who are having some ulcers. They cannot take these ones here, because they are so sour in terms of taste. And for the people who have ulcers, they cannot take this one here. But the black one, you can just consume them, because they're so fantastic whenever we have that kind of the moment. So I'm gonna be passing through somewhere, but it's already sealed. I don't know how I can just penetrate and make sure that I'm just passing through this kind of the position, so I can go to the other side. But the real fact is we have to go forward. That's the main aim that we are having. Wow, the sugar here. And you can find some of the people, guys, that we have this kind of the sugar canes here. When the G Castle gonna be coming out, I'm gonna be promising much of the people that we're gonna be having much of the enjoyment. The enjoyment meaning that we have much of the fruits here for the people to uptake, and that's the good fact that we're gonna be having outside here. So as far as everything is in concern, sugar canes are so many, very many, but cutting. Some people is coming to hook and sometimes they get it. Yeah, this is the stuff that I never knew what is this kind of the stuff, and I don't know what are they for. But my father doesn't want them to be cut, but they don't look like this is called okra. This is okra, but they don't look like okra. They look something weird here, but I don't know why. This one here, look at check it. And check this one here. It's looking this is okra. Yeah, this is okra. That's the fantastic moment here. So for the people, for the fact that once upon a time I was ever cooking in one of the restaurants of the Europeans here. So we are, the Indians, they like okra. I can just remember Safi Mambo. I can just remember there's a time that I was ever cooking, and they were talking about, yeah, we want okra here and there. Hey Buddha, ambotang ambrusha. Yeah, but urachu one baby. So guys, I'm checking on the environment here, how everything is running here. Yeah, this side to potatoes here and everything. So right now you cannot plant some of the maize, guys. You have to plant something that the talk about the monkeys are coming from down area here. So as far as everything is coming from down area, things are not penetrating the way you think. That's the real fact. And when we penetrate here, you get a road here. So it's very near to the road. So you know the insecurity, how it's always a patterning here. And that is the real effect that's going on. So for the real fact that we are making here is to make sure that we are updated. Hey, Mambo, uko fit, yeah? You can just remember this kind of the boy here. How are you?
Fine.
You are fine? And
Yes.
you? What's your name? Rams Mwita. And you? Paul Murimi. Just guys, you can just remember this kind of the boy. Some of them talk about Gintu, I want you to go and support this kind of the two ladies, the three ladies, and one guy. Oh, you want the fruit here? Okay, no problem. And ulipatanga uniform?
Yes.
Bag?
Yes.
Na socks?
Yes.
Fantastic. So
What am I missing?
where una? So he was promoted. Guys, he's the orphan, and you can just remember there's a time that they talked about two of the ladies who are in high school, and one lady was in primary grade 9, and he was the only boy, and I was promoted, and I bought him much of the uniform. Right now they're at home, and they're just loitering a little bit here to make sure that everything is so fantastic. So he's just here. Uko vizuri?
Yes.
Kila kitu iko fit, yeah?
Yes.
Gota. Wagwan. Hi. So guys, that's a big appreciation, because as far as everything is in concern, the boy is now going to school and having a cherishment, because he was ever going and the uniform was torn everywhere, and much of maybe the students, they'll be this kind of the boy looks weird, yeah. But right now he's so fantastic. That's the very, very fantastic mood. So as far as these are our area here from the main road here. So this is our area to the top side, to the top where we can just have the G Castle is to the top. That's the land, and we are reaching to where the road is. And the fantastic thing is, this kind of the road, it was not meant to be here. During the development of the government of talk about the era of the second president of Kenya. One of the Highland talk about the whites. They brought something called it's like an industry that was processing coffee. So whenever they planted here this kind of an industry, so they can just process this kind of the coffee, this kind of the road, it was meant to pass down there. But when they came to check on how the road will pass so quickly so they can just reach where the industry is, they talked about this kind of the road has to be formulated here, and it was not meant for here. And this was my grandfather's asset, talk about the land. And do you know that my grandfather had to be arrested so this kind of the road had to pass here? That's the real fact about it. Much of the people will talk about, how is it happening here and there? That's the real fact that is ongoing here. So as we are passing, this is the main road that's going to be going home. Hey, I see here the dogs are running like safari rally. That's the real effect here. So guys, as far as everything is in concern, I appreciate much of the effort and you have put to us, making sure that you're watching the video and getting everything onto the brim. I appreciate, and I talk about thank you very much for your tuned, and we're going to be making sure that we are supporting each other. That's the best moment that we're looking for. As far as everything is in concern, my chest is now healing a little bit and making sure that we're going to be getting forward. That's the best that we are looking for, and security is safe, and we are careful. Everybody's always talking about, we're going to be so careful, going to be so careful, and making sure that we are looking forward to have everything get in concern. That is the best brim we're going to be looking for. So guys, when I brought man of the car and to my home premises there, the first day we were having here a problem, and we had to cut much of the routes here, because it came and whenever you're purchasing much of the car, it's always short. So when I arrived here, it never passed here, so we had to make sure that this kind of the routes are cut a little bit so they can just pass. The fact is I appreciate much of the effort that much of the people are supporting, making sure that we are growing together and making things to change. That's the best moment that we're ever looking for. As far as everything is in concern, my home is a little bit far from here. Guys, whenever you're just walking here and there, you think about, maybe you are going slow, but whenever it reaches at a time, now you're going back. Let me give you a small story. So during the last time, whenever we were having much of, we can talk about much of the circumcision ceremony. So you can understand it's not from your own village. So you can just get the circumcision village. Your village maybe have one person, or there is no one person there. So other villages, they have people are being to be circumcised, and you have to go there for the celebration and go and dance and eat, drink traditional drinks here and there, and come back home. So much of the boys like us now, whenever I was a teenager a little bit, so I was liking this kind of the trend, making sure that I can just go and cook And you understand, I started this kind of the chief chef very fast, and I liked it. And to the real fact, whatever was just going on is whenever now you going is very fantastic. Whenever you are going dancing, cherishing together and talking about hey, A, B, C, D, hey, you are going, now you go and cook and eat. Now coming back is a problem. You feel like, what has brought me here? And maybe it's 3 kilometers. Now you have danced, you have not showered, so it's looking so weird to you. And even walking, even to raise one of the leg here, it's becoming a problem. You find that you find a motorbike. Oh, can you carry me? You are talking about, oh, the money is so expensive. You don't have even 1 shilling. During that kind of the period, it was so hard for us to live. But for the fact is the stomach, whenever the stomach is mentioned there, you are very fantastic to go. So whenever you reach here, it's called Arsenal Dam, Arsenal, and it's called Slow Down. And this is where the dogs are always taking much of the water from. Or you have just created here a pot, and it's always sleeping inside. That's the best moment that we have here. That's the best moment. Come, kuja. So it will just relax. It's hibernating. Okay, not hibernating. It's just cooling the body down. That's the real fact. And we really like about, sometimes dogs do act like people. That's the real fact about it. And I like they like the nature that we're always going on, and making sure that everything's so fantastic. As I move and maneuver all around to make sure that I'm now coming to the position of my home, and I'm gonna be reaching to my home here, so they can just have this kind of a crazy moment, talk about, oh, even sometimes a leisure is good. So sometimes I want to decide, talk about, oh, I want to move from the upper section and rotate to a space here. Whenever I rotate the whole space and I come back, I'm already tired, and already it's like you have done an exercise. That's the best moment. This is where my cows are always grazing, and making sure that they're gonna be getting much of the food here to sustain themselves here, and that's the good moment that you're gonna be having. Thank you very much. So guys, whoever is tuned, thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in, making sure that you're watching the video from A to Z. And I really appreciate your effort that you have just placed onto us, because we are making it happen. That's the best moment that we are looking for. And as far as everything is in concern, appreciate much of the people who are always in and making sure that you are supporting the real G to make it happen. Keep it tuned, keep it locked.